I have to say that week was probably the craziest week of my life. I came into the tournament around ranked 104.
Say she's going to be in sometime this week, but yeah, Serena's the
Should
GOAT
I
for
do
sure.
two from the past?
Yeah,
Should
sure. You
I
can do
do
whatever
two
you
from?
want.
Okay, I'll do Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova.
Is that her?
Unbelievable. She's 5-1 against top 20 players in the last.
Before the match, I told her before the match, I don't mind if you win or lose, but we need to show that we are. Yeah, well, he was watching the practice from one window upstairs from the indoor course.
Yeah.
And he came down to help because he's lefty also.
Yeah.
So he had and he gives some tips to Alex like to try to do better. It's true, and
That's nice.
for us was surprising because he came down, he took a racket, he's playing.
For tennis legends Lindsay Davenport and Martina Navratilova, the Australian Open organizers missed a
Gothenburg, they had the press conferences on YouTube of the Australian Open pre-match press conferences. She had more views than like Alcaraz.
She walked into Miami ranked 140 as a wild card nobody knew, and walked out having beaten 3 former Grand Slam champions, including the world number 1. But what happened behind the scenes? What did Nadal whisper to her in practice? What did tennis legends say that the Australian Open didn't want you to hear? Stay locked in, because what you're about to find out about Alex Eala has never been told like this before.
I have to say that week was probably the craziest week of my life. I came into the tournament around ranked 140. I was a wild card, and I was obviously super looking forward to Miami Open. Just because it's when you're playing in the ITF circuit, one having a wild card into a 1000 is a highlight event. So it kind of highlights your year. So every year I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to have gotten the Miami wildcard. So it would be like a highlight for every single one of my years. So that was no different. I came into it super excited, of course, wanting to do well. And I hadn't really had a lot of success in my previous Miami runs. So yeah, safe to say it was a big surprise for me.
And walk us through kind of that progression because, listen, you're 140, which means you're not getting direct entry, but every person 140 in the world knows how to play this game. Just for our listeners, you are a professional player. You're not overawed by just being in a tournament. But then you run up against people who have won slams, and then you start beating them. Did you feel, kind of the confidence building? And then kind of when you've done it once, did that make it easier after you beat Ostapenko? Does it make it easier when you come up against a Maddie and then so on and so forth? And then all of a sudden, the legend Iga.
No, I don't think that it makes it easier. Every single match is so tough. And now that I've been in the circuit for longer than I was, I'm realizing that even more. It doesn't matter what rank the other player is, right? And I guess my run and the breakouts of so many other young WTA players is a testament to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for me, it almost got even harder in regard to that Miami run because of course you got Ostapenko. Like never mind that the rankings were getting better, but as you go deeper in the tournament, you get a little bit more nervous because the round has a little higher stakes. You're a little bit more tired because you have more load from the matches. So circumstances become a little bit more difficult. But then, of course, as the tiredness is heightened, so is the pressure, but so is the motivation. And I think every round I just got more and more motivated.
A wild card, ranked 140, 0 expectations. But here's what nobody tells you. Eala had been getting a Miami wildcard every single year, and every year she'd gone home early. So what made 2025 different? The answer isn't what you think, and her coach was watching every second.
Older brother, he's 3 years older, and he played at Penn State. He was the one who first got into tennis with my grandfather. So my grandfather was my coach. I started tennis at 3 or 4. Up until I left for Spain, which was at 13. So 10 years, my grandfather was our coach. He had no formal training whatsoever. He read a lot of books. His time was like Pete Sampras, all of that. He read a lot of those tennis magazines. So if you see my my like technique when I was like 12, like it was wonky and but yeah, so it was really a family thing. And it was a very tough love kind of situation, but I think what I learned most in those years was really the foundation of being a good competitor was, it's that fighting spirit, it's that grit. And yeah, tennis was never very popular. We always had to it was very costly. My parents, of course, sacrificed a lot of time and effort. My grandfather was costly because you had to travel all the time if you wanted to compete at such a level, even at juniors, even 14 under. Um and so when the opportunity came for me to train abroad, I took it with both hands and I clung to it. Yeah.
What does that look like though? I mean, we hear this in tennis sometimes. People say, "Well, like I went to train abroad." I mean, you're moving at 13 years old across the world to play tennis and to learn how to be a better tennis player. Like, were you intimidated or was it just all excitement because you don't know any better at that point in your life? Do you remember your first day at the academy and kind of what you were thinking and feeling when you got there?
Yes. Well, more than that, I remember the day it was brought up to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I won Les Petitas, which is the 14 under tournament in France. And so the academy reached out to my parents. And I remember my dad was driving me to school and he brought it up in the car kind of casually. I was probably like 12. And I thought it was so out, like absurd. I thought it was just something like, okay. But if the opportunity, I found out the opportunity was actually serious. And I was like, yes. I was like, for me, yes, 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 I'll go, I'll go, I'll go. And my parents were like, okay, let's talk it through. Like, we still have things to decide. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what there is to decide. I'll just, like, of course, yeah. But so it was definitely a little bit of I didn't know any better. And then I went, and I was already, of course, it was a huge change of scenery. Everything is different, but I was fortunate enough to be relatively well traveled by that age, and I already had this rigorous routine of tennis training, school. Like I would wake up at 4:45, I'd be in the gym at 5 till 6, and I was like 11. I was 5 till 6, and then I'd go to school at 7:30, and then until 3 p.m., and then I'd go training at 5 to 7, homework, dinner, repeat. So I already had that rigorous schedule. And I remember I came to the academy and training started at 8. And I was like, oh,
You could sleep
I have
in.
so much time. I
Yeah.
can sleep in.
It's like a weekend.
Yes. Well, more than that, I remember the day it was brought up to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I won Les Petitas, which is the 14 under tournament in France. And so the academy reached out to my parents. And I remember my dad was driving me to school and he brought it up in the car kind of casually. I was probably like 12. And I thought it was so out, like absurd. I thought it was just something like, okay. But if the opportunity, I found out the opportunity was actually serious. And I was like, yes. I was like, for me, yes, 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 I'll go, I'll go, I'll go. And my parents were like, okay, let's talk it through. Like, we still have things to decide. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what there is to decide. I'll just, like, of course, yeah. But so it was definitely a little bit of I didn't know any better. And then I went, and I was already, of course, it was a huge change of scenery. Everything is different, but I was fortunate enough to be relatively well traveled by that age, and I already had this rigorous routine of tennis training, school. Like I would wake up at 4:45, I'd be in the gym at 5 till 6, and I was like 11. I was 5 till 6, and then I'd go to school at 7:30, and then until 3 p.m., and then I'd go training at 5 to 7, homework, dinner, repeat. So I already had that rigorous schedule. And I remember I came to the academy and training started at 8. And I was like, oh,
You can sleep
I have
in.
so much time. I
Yeah.
can sleep in.
It's like a weekend.
Yeah. Um, but then now I look back at it and I'm like, oh my goodness, I moved out at 13. Like that's insane. But it did help. I was with my brother. The academy, of course, is built for those types of situations, where there are young kids, boarding, and my parents were, flew in quite frequently, so it made it easier. Yeah.
You go to the Rafa Nadal Academy. Do you remember the first interactions, the first time you practiced next to Rafa? Any takeaways? What was that relationship like? How involved is he with?
Her dad mentioned it casually, mid-drive, like it wasn't life-changing. She was 12, and her brain immediately screamed yes before her parents could even finish the sentence. But moving to Spain at 13, alone, most kids would panic. What she said next reveals exactly why she's built different.
Point, which to me is tremendous. So, is it true that Rafa was on court with you for 30 minutes? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, he was watching the practice from one window upstairs from the indoor course.
Yeah.
And he came down to help because he's lefty also.
Yeah.
So he had, and he gives some tips to Alex, like to try to do better. It's true. And
That's nice.
For us was surprising because he came down, he took a racket, he's playing to her, so for us was amazing. We couldn't believe that.
Really? Because he hasn't done that before?
Well, he was playing.
Yeah, so the first interaction with Rafa, like in the academy space around that time, was not actually in the academy. So we did like a trial, like we'd go there, like do like 1 week, we'll see how it goes. So my parents and my brother and I, we flew over, and in the Madrid airport, we just happened to pass by Rafa on the way to his academy, and we kind of chased him down. Like, Rafa, we're going to your academy. Can we take a pic? And yeah, he took a pic with us. So that was the first interaction I remember, um, in Spain. So good way to start, I would say. And then after that, I don't really remember. It kind of just he's there a lot. He's very down to earth when you talk to him, of course. He asks questions and things like that. But it's just he's Rafa, so you're always just gonna be scared. Like I'm always like still scared. Um, I don't know what to say. I always get very like very tongue tied. So yeah, I'll let you know. It doesn't get better, at least for me. It doesn't get easier.
Their very first meeting wasn't on the court. It was in Madrid airport. Alex and her family literally chased Rafa down the terminal. And even now, ranked 29 in the world, she still gets completely tongue-tied around him. But what Rafa did in that practice session goes far deeper.
For tennis legends Lindsay Davenport and Martina Navratilova, the Australian Open organizers missed a major opportunity by not placing rising Filipina star Alex Eala on a bigger show court. Interviewed on Tennis Channel, the former Wimbledon champion Davenport said Eala is likely the most famous Philippine or female athlete from the Philippines, noting large numbers of fans were eager to watch her play. Meantime, Navratilova echoed those comments, urging tournament officials to better consider player popularity and fan bases when scheduling matches. Eala's first-round opponent, Alicia Parks, admitted she had to deal with the highly partisan crowd before beating the Filipina in 3 sets. Eala's Filipino fan base packed Court 6 in Melbourne and filled queues across the grounds.
I think that this year, 2026, the start of the season was when I seriously noticed that it was coming. Like the people were really coming. They were buying tickets. They were taking time out of their day, and it's wow. It's in the first couple of weeks. So I would say Auckland, Australia, and Manila was really a lot, especially Australia and Manila, Melbourne. My match in Melbourne I was like at a loss for words when I saw the videos. after my match. I didn't see them during or before. I was kind of just in the zone. But I saw a couple clips of the lines and the people, and I was really like surprised. And it's hard to. I think I was a little in denial. It's hard to accept or like really see yourself being someone with that much influence or that much impact just because I've been myself my whole life and nothing changed from in terms of who I am from 2025 to 2026. It's just that my success kind of skyrocketed, which I'm very thankful for. So yeah, after I kind of broke that barrier of like not accepting, like, oh, I don't think I'm really famous. Every week they just kept coming, and I was like, okay, you have to accept this.
She didn't see the crowds until it was over. While thousands of Filipinos lined up outside Melbourne Park, Alex was just in the zone. She watched the clips afterwards and went into denial. But here's the part that reveals her actual mindset, and it explains everything about her rise.
In general, no?
Yeah.
So for Alex, who 2 months ago she still was not in the top 100, is a challenge. It's a challenge every day, not only today because she beat her. Every day is different.
Yeah.
Iga, I saw her much better. I saw good Iga, especially finishing the
Yes.
control.
Yeah.
And I think now we're still learning how to deal with these good players when they are on her best moment, no?
Right, right. So from the Miami game and the game now, what was the difference other than the surface? Or was it all surface? Because the surface, and what about the level of tennis that Alex played and Iga?
No, the surface makes you play one level or another level. My feelings on Miami were like, even though Iga playing well, we could do it.
Because of the fast court.
Yeah, because Alex moves better on hard and is more a hardcore player. Here, I think Iga felt what we felt in Miami. That
yes, uncomfortable a little bit, no?
At one point it's the same, but opposite. No, it's like to make understand. If you ask Federer to play against Rafa, maybe he would ask to play on hard, on gas.
Yeah.
And maybe Rafa would prefer to play on clay, no?
Yes.
It's part of the game. We need to improve.
Are you happy with it?
Yes.
You think she's there in terms of her level?
Yeah, because specifically this, what you're saying now, is what I told her before the match. I don't mind if you win or lose, but we need to show that we are here for a reason.
Yeah.
So we need to show that you have the level. And if you have the level, it means you can compete and you can try.
Perfect.
So this is what I'm happy with this match, no? Because I knew from 10 times, maybe 9 or 10 on clay, Swiatek should win.
Yes.
But it's true that today we were close.
Super close.
We were close. And I think she felt a bit the
pressure.
Yeah.
Credit to Iga, who was able to pull herself together emotionally, stay focused. She didn't get angry when she was making so many errors, right?
Before facing the 4-time Roland Garros champion, her coach told her, "Forget winning, just prove you belong." That one instruction reframes everything you think you know about how Eala competes under pressure. Because what she did in that match wasn't about the scoreboard. It was about sending a message.
Of being Filipino, and I think seeing other Filipinos succeed makes us so happy. For example, when Manny Pacquiao was, still very active, when he'd have fights, it was like a holiday. Like crime rates would go down, everyone would gather, the families would gather, they'd have parties and stuff. So, we're very nationalistic, I guess. We're proud of where
We had the press conferences on YouTube of the Australian Open pre-match press conferences. She had more views than Alcaraz, Sinner, Novak, and Medvedev combined. I mean, the level of her popularity, she has tapped into something, and it's really, it could be crippling. It could be a very...
At the Australian Open, her pre-match press conference broke the internet. more YouTube views than Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, and Medvedev combined. Let that land. She hadn't even won a Grand Slam, but the internet had already decided, and tennis's biggest institutions were completely caught off guard by what was coming.
Thing that I think is just such a gift from this generation is continuing to crush like lazy tennis stereotypes. But you mentioned Venus and Serena, and then you see what Novak has done for Murray's from. She's talking about playing on a tennis court that was half basketball court. Doesn't really fit the stereotype from like the early 80s where you're doing Aperol spritzes and, headbands and all. Like, these are winning stories that weren't gifted from birth. These are earned. Like, listen to the schedule she was keeping on her grandpa's schedule when she was 12. Right. Like, this is absurd. I don't want to hear any more lazy tropes about tennis and it being
the country club.
Yeah, is that dead? Can we kill it? Is it dead?
Yeah, and anyone that does it's the precious sport for preppies at the country club, we have thousands of examples.
Yeah, there's plenty. They might be there, but they're not winning anything.
Passion.
Yeah. So you still have 2 more courts tournaments on clay. It's Italian Open and Roland Garros, and then after that you move to grass.
Yeah.
Now, Alex will be better on grass, more effective on grass, you think, with her flat ball? Or is it also difficult to move on the grass?
If better means she will beat Iga, I don't know if she will be better. Better means that she will feel better playing on grass because, as I said, every player has her own
favorite surface. Yeah. So you like grass for Alex?
Yeah, I like grass. Yeah.
I mean, her return, she'll come in and hit the ball really hard. But you need to have a good serve in grass. Okay.
On the same time, maybe we come here, we play Iga, and maybe we go grass, and maybe we play Sabalenka.
Oh yeah,
so we are not gonna.
Her coach believes grass could be her best surface. That flat, hard-hitting ball off the return becomes a weapon on fast courts. But there's one thing standing between her and a deep Wimbledon run: her serve. And when you hear what they're specifically working on, it changes your prediction entirely.
If I'm being transparent, winning helps a lot.
Yep.
Winning really helps a lot. It's difficult to be super happy when you're losing, but if I were to say anything aside from winning, it would just be to see the progress, to see that, the work you're putting in is helping you become a better player. So if you can see that transition from practice to match, and you see that you're becoming a better player and you're feeling it on court, then that makes you happy because you see that you're progressing.
I'm hearing her straight, and I'm thinking you're going to keep playing, and I think you're going to find that your Filipino fan base is going to stay consistent. But I think you are winning a lot of fans throughout tennis. We have big courts in your future.
The parts of your game that if you're looking back in Miami 1 year from now and you're saying, you know what, I would be really happy if these parts of my game were improved, or if I was doing these 1 or 2 things better.
I think if I look back at Miami last year, one would be my serve. Another would be, if you have any tips, Andy, I'd love some.
I'm available anytime.
I think another would probably be, I can't remember how much I went to the net last year, but I would say maybe that game I could use a bit more. Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
Alex Eala isn't just a tennis story. She's proof that the sport is being rebuilt from the outside in. If this gave you something you hadn't heard before, hit subscribe, because we go deeper than the highlights. Drop in the comments, did Rafa's practice session surprise you? We read everything.